Welcome to Virtual Math Master. This is your boy, Master Cruz, so you never do math alone again. And today we're going to dive deep into the world of inequalities so we can learn the intro or the basis of inequalities and their graphs. So here we go. The first thing is you need to be able to identify an inequality. How do we know what's an inequality? Well, first, equations use equal signs. So everything that we're going to do with inequalities is exactly the same thing that we did with equations. But instead of using an equation symbol, we're going to start using these blue symbols called the inequality symbols. And there are four of them. There's two basic ones. And the first one is less than or greater than. Now, notice that the way I remember which one is less than is that this symbol, the first one, almost looks like an L. Okay, a little bit messed up, but it's an L. So I hope you see it because that's how you spell less. So that's how you know that this symbol is going to be less than, and the other symbol is greater than, okay? And it's obviously pointing the other way, and this is going to make more of little sense, hopefully in a second, of why they point the way they do. Now, there's two more symbols, and it's the same symbols, but you add a line underneath, and that line is the half of the line of the equation, okay, of the equal sign. So the way that you read this symbol on the right is less than or equal to, and the way that you read this one, it's greater than or equal to. So let's dive into an example real quick so that this will allow you to, whenever you see any inequality, any problem or any graph, you will know exactly how to write it and how to graph it. So here we go. The first one is, what does this say? Well, this says that X, that looks like an L, so it's less than, okay, it's less than 2 because that's, the number 2. That's exactly what it is. So X is less than 2. How can I graph this? Well, I'm going to graph this right here. I'm going to draw a graph. Okay, so there's a number line, and I'm always going to put a 0 in the middle. 0, it's going to be what it's going to gauge. So I'm not going to draw a bunch of tick marks. I'm only going to write 0 and then whatever number they gave me. Where is 2 with respect to 0? Well, it's a positive number, so it's to the right. So I just need to put a tick mark and write a 2 because it's to the right of 0. That's all. You don't need to write a bunch of tick marks, only these two. Now, here's how you graph them. You're going to have either an open circle or a closed circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 2 and I'm going to draw an open circle. And the reason why this is open is because this is less than, there's no equal to symbol. And then this is what you have to think, where are the numbers that are less than 2 on the number line? Are they on the left, to the left of 2 or to the right of 2? Well, hopefully you remember that negative numbers are to the left and positive numbers are to the right, always. So that means that the numbers that are negative are less than 2. We're going to go to the left. These are where the numbers are less than 2 are, right? This is 1, 0, -1, -2. So any of these numbers, right, if I were to label them, which you don't have to, this is just for explanation purposes, they're all less than 1. So I'm going to go to the left. And this is the graph of X is less than 2. Another way that you could think about it is that this right here is the head of an arrow. If this was the head of an arrow, that is terrible color contrast. We'll never do that again. All right. So if you have this right here, do you see that it's like the head of the actual arrow? This is pointing to the left, and this head is pointing to the left. So there you have it. You could follow that only if the variable is first. Okay, only if the variable is first because we're talking about X. Let's try X is greater than -5. Well, like I just said, this says X is greater than, okay, it's greater than. Because it's greater than, when I graph it, right, it's greater than, that's what that means. When I graph it again, I'm going to put the 0. I'm not going to put a bunch of tick marks. I'm just going to put, -5 because that's a negative. So again, -5, is it to the right or to the left? I'm erasing it because it's to the left of -5. And it's okay to make a mistake as long as you catch it, right? So let me write this correctly because that's why I did not get it right. This is than -5, okay, -5. So Now, I still have my open circle on top of -5 because that's the number I'm talking about. But am I going to go to the left or to the right? Well, where are the numbers are greater than -5? Numbers are greater than -5 because positive numbers are on this side. They're actually to the right, right? So -3, -2, 1, 100, all those numbers are to the right of -5. So all these numbers are solutions. Wherever you see the arrow, you're drawing the solutions. So now you don't only have one solution, you have many solutions, infinitely many solutions to be exact. Okay, so that's it. That's the graph. Let's look at this one. Now, this one has the line under. So how do we say that we read this one? We read this one as x is greater than, okay, so x is greater than, and here's the kicker, greater than or equal to, okay, or equal to. So here's the difference, 7. And this line at the bottom, that's what gives you the equal to 7, which means that when we draw our graph, now it's okay for our answer to be 7. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to draw it underneath. So I have a little bit more space. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to draw it underneath. Let me switch this real quick. Oh, this is not going to help. I'll just move it down. Perfect. And here we go. So this is 0. This is 7. Again, it doesn't really matter as long as you draw in the correct side. But look at the difference. Now, because this was greater than, this is not just an open circle. I'm actually going to close that circle. I'm going to fill that circle. Actually, I'm going to fill it with red so you can see it well. This is fill. This is closed circle. So now we have a new idea that we're going to introduce where that it's called open. Okay, this is an open circle, and this is a closed circle. Okay, this is closed. This is a closed circle. And closed circles are always used when you have equal to. So the way I like to think about it is that this line at the bottom fills in the circle. Okay, this line at the bottom fills in the circle. And now that we have the circle filled in, which way do we graph? Do we go to the left or do we go to the right? Well, where are the numbers that are greater than 7 on the inequality? They're to the right of 7. So we're going to go to the right. And that's how you graph that. The last example that I have, can you do it before I do it? That would be pretty cool. If you want to pause this video, you can, and give it a shot and then continue the video. But it's going to be very straightforward. This is 0. We have to label this at -12. And then this reads x is less than or equal to. So then I'm going to close my circle on top of 12 because that's the number they gave me. The bottom line fills in the circle. So this is a closed circle. And this is pointing to the left. The head of the arrow is pointing to the left. Or where are the numbers that are less than -12? We're to the left. So we go to the left. So you could use the technique or the hack, right, of the head of the arrow as long as the variable is first. If the 12 was first and the variable on the right, you cannot do that. But like this, absolutely you can. So that's awesome. These are the introduction to this. Now let's talk about how would you apply this to word problems, because sometimes you will have some word problems that you will have to translate into math. Now, these are very basic word problems, but I want you to think about it real quick. Okay, the price is at least $1,000. Let's say that you want to get the newest iPhone, and the newest iPhone price that you want to get is $1,000. Do you need more than $1,000, or do you need less than $1,000? Which one will make sense if I say that the price is at least $1,000? Well, because I'm talking about the price, right? The price, I'm going to write this first. So that's my P. The $1,000 at the end, I'm going to write that later. And what's in the middle, which is going to go in this box, is the inequality symbol that translates for at least. So the price is at least $1,000. That means that you will need more than $1,000. So you could have greater than or equal to $1,000. avoiding taxes, if it was tax-free and shipping free, all that great stuff. Okay, if you had $1,000, you could get it. So that's equal to. And if you have more than $1,000, you can get it. So that's why P is greater than or equal to 1,000. That's how much money you will need. All right, let's look at the second example. It says Jomar would pay at most. That's what that says. I'm not sure what happened there. So let's fix it real quick. There you go, there you go, and there you go. At most $1,000 for a field trip. So not for a field trip, sorry, for a vacation trip. So let's say that you want to go to New York. You've never been to New York, and you make your budget and you say, I need $2,000 for a hotel, for air tickets, for eating, and all that great stuff that you're going to do for a whole week. Do you need, you would pay at most $2,000. Does that mean that you will pay less than $2,000 or you will pay more than $2,000? Well, the word at most means a maximum. That's the maximum that you're willing to pay. Therefore, you would pay less than $2,000. So if the trip happens to be $1,500, that's perfect. You save $500. So less than or equal to, right? Or equal to, because you are still willing to pay the $2,000, just the most that you would pay. You need at least a 2.0 GPA to graduate. You need at least 2.0 GPA to graduate. So is this greater than or is this less than? Well, because it's at least, again, just like this one, that will be greater than or equal to. So hopefully you will see that at least means greater than or equal to, and at most means less than or equal to. It's kind of intuitive, counterintuitive, but that's how it works. So those are the basics for the inequalities. On the next video, check how to check solutions to inequalities, all right? If this video really helps, please comment, like, subscribe. It helps a lot. And if you need personalized tutoring, click on the link below or visit virtualmathmasters.com free session. And I'm giving a free tutoring session for anybody who sees this video and decides that they need extra help so that you can come and get personalized support. This was your boy, Master Cruz, with Virtual Math Master.